Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Radha, Gopi Vallabha Radha, Gopi Vallabha Radhe. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. We are discussing a series of pastimes in today, tomorrow and after 3 days. The beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam is the Srimad Bhagavatam is full of narration of the Lord's beautiful pastimes, filled with His sublime divine qualities. Along with that, they are also replete with spiritual instructions for the readers and hearers as we proceed through the pastimes. So you get the joy of hearing the pastime, which brings us closer to understanding of the Lord's divinity. But we also side by side, carry many lessons for ourselves. So I will show you a very quick run through of what we will do in today, tomorrow, day after. So that, and then you will see that each of these days I am going to focus on one section of these chapters. See, in the 50th chapter of the 10th canto, entitled Krishna Establishes the City of Dwaraka. Prior to this, Krishna has killed Kamsa, the demon, who has been extremely atrocious, arrogant, and he would talk in a way overthrowing everybody. He calls us Ugrasena Ugrasenastu Staviram, he says. Rajya Kamukam, he calls him. Ugrasena, his father, he calls him as a oldie, and he is calling him as a Rajya Kamukam, who is attached to the position of a king. Actually, this fellow is attached to the position of king. Who? Comes himself. And he is calling Ugrasena is attached to the position. He says, Krishna only has, actually, you will see that even when Kamsa was killed, Krishna didn't want to be the king himself. He posted Ugrasena as a respectable superior. But here you see Kamsa is telling he is a oldie and he is Rajya Kamukam. And he is telling, I will kill Vasudeva, I will kill Balaram, I will kill Krishna, I will finish everybody. And then he is saying, Jarasandho Mama Guru. Jarasandha is my respectable superior because he gave his two daughters in marriage to Kamsa, Asti and Prapti. So, in this way you will find Jarasandha's arrogant speech, you will find. But the nature of demons in this world has been like this always. So, of course, he talked big things, but eventually he was destroyed. Over a period of time, Krishna finished him. After that, his two wives, Asti Prapti, went to Jarasandha, their father, and cried that Krishna has killed Kamsa and everything. So, Jarasandha wanted to take revenge. He became angry. So, he said, I will rid the earth of all the Yadavas. The whole Yadav dynasty I'll finish. So, he brought 23 Akshavani divisions. 23 Akshavani divisions. You can imagine, it's a huge thing it is. So like a vast ocean, he brought those soldiers. At the time, Krishna contemplated on seeing the army. He understood that Jarasandha will be ruthless in attacking his army, and he will also try to destroy the Krishna's devotees, the people. So Krishna contemplated on making a protection mechanism for them. On one hand, he wanted to destroy Jarasandha. On the other hand, he wanted to see all his subjects protected. There is one verse in the Bhagavatam which says, Govinda Bhujaguttayam. It says, Bhuja means the arms. The Dwarkavasis were always protected by the arms of Krishna. Imagine if a child is within the embrace of the mother, nobody can harm the child. Similarly, he protected his citizens very wonderfully. At that time, when Krishna Balaram decided to wage the war to end their religion, the chariot came flying in the skyway and came exactly in front of Krishna Balaram and stood up. And then Lord Krishna spoke to Balaram. He's saying, see the danger that beset on the Yadus. Your personal chariot and weapons have come now, simply by your desiring them. We came here for this purpose. Please remove the burden of the earth. Like that Krishna is telling to Balaram. And they, from the chariot, they wore the armor and drove out of the city with their army. They drove out. And Krishna came with Daruka as the chariot driver and blowing the conch shells. Enemy soldiers' heart began to tremble in fear. So at that time, there was a little conversation between Jarasandha. And Jarasandha said, hey Krishna, you are a coward. I don't want to fight with you. You always have been hiding in Vrindavan and killing so many demons sent by Kamsa. I don't want to fight with you. You are also younger to me. You move also. I want to fight with Balaram. He is my combat. So Krishna tells Balaramji that you take the lead. And then Krishna attacks the rest of the army. It's a very valiant battle that follows. You will see. The rest of the army was finished. There was a river of blood. In this world, the Lord comes to destroy the demons and protect the devotees and establish dharma. That is one of his main activity. He comes here. So, Jarasandha lost all his soldiers in chariot, and Balram captured Jarasandha like a lion. And with his divine news of Varuna, he tied him up. And Krishna stopped Balram and said, please don't kill him, leave him, because he will go and bring more demons. So then he was sent away. So Jarasandha was so feeling bad and sad. He felt, I'll go to the forest and give up my kingship and just perform austerities and finish my life. That was his idea. But his demoniac associates gave him false hopes and false confidence and told him that, no, you go on and on, my dear king, we are all with you. You are very great. Once in a while, small defeat you have to accept, go on. It's not once in a while. He was defeated 17 times by Krishna. And then all the citizens, they celebrated Krishna Balram's victory. And in this way, they defeated Jarasandha 17 times, and he brought more and more demons. And this became very helpful for Krishna Balram to kill all the demons in bunches. So they would bunch up the demons and bring, and all demons would be finished, because gathering demons would take some time. And that time was made easy by Jarasandha for the Lord, isn't it? Yeah. So in this way, by the valiant battle, Krishna Balram finished all the demoniac forces. Now, when the 18th battle was about to start with Jarasandha, at that time, another demon came called Kalevana, one barbarian. He came with 30 million soldiers. So, and this Kalevana, he had met Narada Muni and asked, who is the person in this world, who is my combat to fight with? So, and then Narada said, there is one special personality has appeared in this world. His name is Vasudeva. He is actually born to finish you. You should go and fight with him. And then he asked, how does he look like? So he heard all the description. And then with that awareness of how Vasudeva looks like, with that awareness he came to Mathura. So now there are two armies coming. 123 Akshavani is coming, with again Jarasandha is recollecting his army and coming. And Kalevana is coming from the other side. It's like two big oceans coming towards Mathura. So Lord Krishna thought that if we are attacking one of the armies, the other armies will finish the citizens. So that is the time Lord decided to construct Dwaraka. So that's a beautiful description of the Dwaraka city. Lord arranged for Vishwakarma to build a city with avenues, roads, plots, gardens, trees, creepers from the heavenly planets. And towers were touching the sky, and every house had a watchtower and temple. And all the citizens and four social orders were moved moved by the Lord to the city, which means the people slept in Mathura. Next day morning, they opened their eyes, they were in Dwaraka. God transported them. And Sudharma Assembly Hall came from the heavenly planets down. This way, Lord Krishna, you can see, Lord Krishna erected the Dwaraka fort, and surrounded by the oceans, it was completely protected. Nobody could touch any of the citizens. After offering complete protection and safety to his citizens, then Krishna turned to Balram and said, now we can face these two fellows. So this way Lord transferred Mathura Vasis to Dwaraka by his Yogamaya potency. And Balram remained in Mathura to protect Mathura. And then Lord went out of the city by the main gate. So this is the 50th chapter. And then the deliverance of Muchukunda. In this chapter, there is an episode of Kalayavana. And the next chapter on Rukmini's letter, there is an episode of Jarasandha chasing after Krishna. So I had given the heading, stunning lessons from running Krishna. So one of the first stunning lessons we will take is not this chapter. I am purposefully going to the next chapter because the Jarasandha chasing after Krishna should be discussed first. In order to understand Krishna's position, Krishna Balram's position, and then we will come to Kalyavana chasing after Krishna. So I will keep this for this is another pastime, we'll come back to this. Now here Krishna Balram, the apple of eye of Dwaraka, and all the others, they are happy, everybody is happy. So now, here you find in the picture, in this chapter 51, before the Rukmini's letter arrives for Krishna, Krishna saw that Kalyavana is now coming with his army, but if I am going to fight with him, this one is Jarasandha. Jarasandha is coming with his army to attack. At that time, Krishna had another very, very important work, which is to attend to the Brahmana who has been sent by Rukmini. So then Krishna decided that I am not going to fight. I am going to walk out. So you will see that. This is the chapter. Rukmini versus Krishna. We will read this one now. This is Jarasandha, eager to fight again because he has been defeated 17 times. This is the 18th time he is coming running. But then Krishna is in no mood to fight. Krishna is going away. So Krishna and Balram are fleeing from the battlefield is it due to fear of Jarasandha that they are fleeing away? Lord is not fearful about anyone. He is master of all mystics. Why should he fear? So we will see that in this chapter now. We are going to read this 52nd chapter now, currently, in today's session. This was the matter. Why he went away? Because Rukmini had sent one Brahman. Lord wanted to attend to her letter. Therefore, he became Ranachod. He left the battle and ran away. He met the Brahman, read the letter and responded to that. Of course, later on he finished Jarasandha like this. They went as 3 Brahmins. You know that? Who are these 3? Bhim, Arjun and Krishna. They 3 went in their dressed like Brahmins. And then they arranged for Jarasandha to be finished through Bhima. They asked for charity of fight, dual fight, and then it was finished. So let us go into the chapter now. So, okay, this is the 10th canto, 52nd chapter. The Lord returned to Mathura, which was still surrounded by Yavanas. Then he destroyed the army of barbarians and began taking their valuables to Dwaraka. And then he's saying, as the wealth was being carried by the oxen and men under Lord Krishna's direction, Jarasandha appeared at the head of 23 armies for the 18th battle. Jarasandha is coming now. Vilokya Vega Rabasam, all of you. Ripu Sainyasya Madhavau, Manushya Jeshtam Apannau, Rajan Dudruvaturdrutam. Here is saying that from here there are 5 shlokas I am going to show you now. In these 5 verses, how Krishna is not ordinary, Krishna Balram are not ordinary human beings becomes evident. So for that you have to very attentively refer to certain words used here. Here you see, Madhava word is used. Madhava means one Madhava. Madhava means dual. Dual. So there's a dual and there's a plural in Sanskrit. Singular, dual, plural. So 2 Madhavas it says. Who are the 2 Madhavas? Krishna and Balram, yeah. And then its 3rd line says, Manushya Cheshtam Apannau. Manushya Cheshta means they imitated the behavior of a human being. What does that mean? That means they are not human beings. They are copying, they are imitating the behavior of a human being. Sometimes a father may, run away from the child, and the child may think father is afraid. Is the father afraid? But the father may imitate the behavior of an afraid person, fearful person. Like that, Manusha Cheshtam, Apanna, accepting a behavior like human. What they did? Rajan, or Parishit, Dudruvaturu Drutam. They ran away very quickly from that place, as I showed you the PPT, isn't it? So therefore, it is not, they are not running out of fear, but they are imitating the behavior. The next verse says, Vihaya vittam prachuram abhito bhiru bhitavat padbyam padmapalashabhyam chelatur bahu yojanam. Vihaya vittam, Vihaya means to give up. All the cartloads of gold, silver, diamond that accumulated in the battle, they gave it all up. Abhitau means not afraid. Bhiru means coward. Bhitavat means as if afraid. Although they are not afraid, they behaved like a coward. The behavior, like a cowardly person running away, like that they ran. Although they were not afraid. Why should they do that? If they are not afraid, then why should they behave as if they were afraid? That's the meaning of Leela, correct? No? And then he's saying, Padma Palashabhyam. Their feet were like lotus feet. Padma Palashabhyam. Exactly like lotus feet. Chelatur Bhahuyojanam, he says. They ran a long distance. 900 yojanas. They ran a very long distance with their tender feet in the forest area, which is filled with pebbles and grasses and thickets and things like that. So this is another interesting thing. See the second point I marked there, in that Bhiru Bhitavat. Bhitavat means like afraid. Bhita means what? Fear. Bhitavat means what?
Like fear.
Like fear. What is the meaning of like fear? Why it says Bhitavat? That means they are not afraid. As if afraid. Like a cowardly person may be afraid. In that way they pretended to be afraid. It says like that. But what was their actual disposition of heart? Abhitau, it says. Abhitau means? Unafraid. Abhitau. Bhito means fear. Abhito means not fearful. They were not fearful, but Bhiru Bhitavat. They pretended to be as if they were afraid. And then the third line he says, Padbyam Padma Palashabhyam. They ran with a tender lotus-like feet. Long distance. 8 miles distance. See, 1 yojana is 8 miles distance. So they ran many yojanas. So imagine a newborn baby with a tender feet, can it run in a forest? Long distance. Their feet was tender. But they ran a very long distance, it says. Now then he says, Palayamano tau drishtva magada prahasan bali anvadavat tadani kair ishayora pramanavet. Yeah, Palayamano means running. Seeing them run. Magada means, who is Magada? Magadha Desh ka Raja, his name is Jarasandha. Prahasan Bali. Hasan means to hasna, to laugh. Ha 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 ha. Very, very angrily and very in a ridiculing mood he laughed. Look at these guys, these two fellows. They're afraid of me, they're running away. See, this is the meaning of Asura, demon. Because 17 times he has been kicked off, thrown out of the battle. 17 times he had all the demons he brought are all destroyed. And he has been singled out again and again and again, and he was completely disheartened. He was supposed to go to forest to do austerities now. After being stripped of everything, now 18th time he is shamelessly coming again, and he is laughing, thinking that they are running. This is the mentality of Asura becomes evident here. And then he also ran behind them, Anvadavat. Rathani-kair. But they were running barefoot, but this Jarasandha was running on chariot. Rathani-kair, it says. Yeah. Ishayor apramanavet. Ishayor means, Isha means Lord. Ishayoho means two lords. Apramanavet. Praman means to estimate. Praman means you cannot estimate their power. With means knower. Apramanavet means this fellow did not know the power of the two lords, he says. Unaware of the scope of the power of these two great personalities, two lords. These are the two supreme Ishwaras, Krishna Balram, of the entire creation. This is the fourth point which talks about how the two personalities appear like two boys, but they are the two personalities who are behind the millions of universes and the creation of the whole existence. Everyone and everything is moving by the Supreme Lord. Ishayor apramanavet. So he ran behind them. Pradutyaduram samshrantau tungamaruhatam girim pravarshanakyam bhagavan nityada yatra varshati. Generally, when you run a long distance, you get tired. Imagine they ran many yojanas, it is said. Say they ran 10 yojanas, 80 miles distance. After running such a long distance, naturally they will be exhausted. So, samshranta word is used there. Pradrutya, duram, samshranta, naturally they would be tired. Tungamaruhatam girim, it says. They climbed a very high mountain immediately. When you run a long distance and you are tired, what you will do? Will you climb up or you will lie down? Yeah. Here they are climbing up a very big mountain. And the name of the mountain is Pravarshanakyam. Akyam means the name. Pravarshana mountain. Nityada yatra varshati. Regularly there are rains in that mountain. He says. Apparently exhausted after fleeing a long distance, the two lords climbed a high mountain named Pravarshana, upon which Lord Indra showers incessant rain. So, although he knew they were hiding on the mountain, inside the greenery of the mountain, Jarasandha could not locate them. Therefore, the king placed firewood on all sides and set the mountain ablaze. His idea was, let them get roasted inside the mountain, and they won't be able to escape with their lives. See the purport here. Clearly, we are observing one of the Supreme Lord's transcendental pastimes. Although the Bhagavatam states that the two lords, Krishna and Balarama, were exhausted, even in their so-called exhausted state, they were able to quickly climb a high mountain and shortly thereafter jump off it to the ground. It would be unwise and illogical to ignore the whole picture the sages are giving us here and instead try to pick apart isolated descriptions. Clearly, we are watching the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the midst of his spiritual pastimes. We are not observing an ordinary human being. Lord Krishna and Balram were still quiet young men when this pastime took place. And one can easily see in these descriptions how they must have been enjoying themselves. Eagerly fleeing from somewhat ridiculous King Jarasandha, racing up a mountain. Racing up a mountain, jumping off, and totally befuddling the constantly failing demon, who somehow or other never lost confidence in himself. Seen without envy or quarrelsomeness, Lord's pastimes are immensely entertaining, he's saying. Why he's saying it's entertaining? Sometimes the father is chased by a small kid with a stick, and father keeps running and the kid runs behind. And he is thinking, I'm going to beat up the father, correct? And the father also runs and then looks behind and runs and looks behind and runs like this. And the child has more fun, seeing that he is afraid of me. Father is not afraid, he's doing it for fun. Just to entertain his devotees, Krishna is doing this. Yeah. Tata utpatya tarasa dakhyamana tatadubhau dashaika yojana tungan nipetaturadhu bhuvi. See, Dashayeka Yojana Tungan is saying, 11 yojanas. So it's like 90 miles. So very high mountain. From there, Nipetatu, he jumped off. Adho means below. Bhuvi, on the ground. The two of them then suddenly jumped from the burning mountain, which was 11 yojanas high, and fell to the ground. He's saying, Alakshamano Ripuna Chanugena Yaduttamau Sapuram Punarayatau Samudra Parikam Drupa. Yeah. Unseen by their opponent or his followers, O king, these two most exalted Yadus returned to the city of Dwarka, which had the ocean as a protective moat. So this is the next verse. Immediately you can see that unseen by their opponent or followers, the two most exalted Yadus returned to the city of Dwarka, which means, I was telling you how this is the high jump they did from the mountain, Krishna Balram. Jumping from such a great height of a mountain, they just walked off. So you can imagine how powerful these personalities are. Yeah, no human being can survive such a jump. Yeah. If somebody jumped, somebody may say they may get fractured. There is no question of fracture. You will not even be able to count the bones because of such a great height. Like in IIT Hyderabad, three boys jumped off from a 7-story building in the same year, 2019. And the body completely broke into pieces, bones. On the spot they died. So here is jumping from such a great height. So therefore, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord are not ordinary. Sopi dagda viti mrisha manvano balakeshavau manvano balakeshavau. Bala means Balaram, Keshav means Krishna. Balam akrishya sumahan magadan magado yayau. Jarasandha, moreover, mistakenly thought that Balaram and Keshava had burnt to death in the fire. Thus he withdrew his vast military force and returned to the Magadha kingdom. And later on, by advice of Uddhava, Krishna, Bhima and Arjuna will go and finish. So, in this way, you will see that, you see, this is the reason why Lord went away. Bhagavan api Govinda upayeme kurudvaha vaidharvim bhishmakasatam shriyo matram swayamvare pramatya tarasarajnyaha shalvadi chaityapakshakan pashyatam sarvalokanam takshaputra sudhamiva. Yeah. They will say, oh, hero among the Kurus, the Supreme Lord himself, Govinda, married Bhishmaka's daughter Vaidharvi, who was a direct expansion of the goddess of fortune. The Lord did this by her desire. And in the process, he beat down Shalva and other kings who took Shishupala's side. Indeed, as everyone watched, Krishna took Rukmini just as Garuda boldly stole the nectar from the demigods. Yeah. Yeah. So, now, this is the first pastime I was planning to speak today. That what we read till now in the pastime of in this chapter, it is Jarasandha chasing after. It is Jarasandha chasing after Krishna and Krishna running away. So in each of these pastimes, we will see why Krishna ran away and why he did not get captured. These two questions we can ask. Here Krishna ran away for a higher cause. What is the higher cause here? Because he wanted to attend to the Brahman who is sent by Rukmini. That's very crucial, very important. Otherwise, Bhishmaka, the father of Rukmini, wanted to also agree with Rukmini's desire of marrying Krishna. But even the other four brothers had agreed also. But the eldest brother, whose name was Rukmi, that Rukmi was an envious personality. He was very close to Jarasandha. And he was also very close to Shishupal. So because of having such bad friendships, in that association, he made up his mind that I want to give my sister in marriage to Shishupal. Other than him, all others were ready. They have no issue about Rukmini marrying. So our acharyas have said that Rukmini is like the jiva, and the eldest brother Rukmi, he is like the mind. And the other brothers are like the senses. So in a body, the senses are subordinate to the mind. So if the mind decides to do something, then the senses are unable to do anything else other than that. Senses have to simply follow the mind, forced by the mind to follow. Like if the mind decides to chant Hare Krishna and then do some devotional activities, then the senses also cooperate with the mind. You will see that. You also worship the deity, you do some seva and everything like that. But if the mind goes in the wrong direction, mind wants to go to movie, then the legs are taking the mind to the movie, and then the hand is purchasing the ticket. All the senses are cooperating with the plans of the mind like that. So that's what happened. So much so, the Bhishmaka, the father, he is supposed to be intelligence. He is supposed to be the father of Rukmi. Sometimes even intelligence can be dragged by the mind sometimes, cheated by the mind, because mind is the next door neighbor of intelligence. In this Bhishmaka, due to the putra sneha, due to the weakness of attachment to his son, even father couldn't say no. So at that time, Rukmini understood that now I am in very great danger now. I'll be forced to marry Shishupal within the third day from today or something like that. So then she sent this Brahmana. So Krishna understood that my dear devotee Rukmini has to be saved. So there is no point joining the battle here. Although he defeated Jarasandha 17 times, now he is going away. Krishna is going away. He's called Ranachod. In Gujarat, he is very famous. So in this way, whenever Lord Krishna does anything, why he does what he does, only he knows. Otherwise, we can know it from the very confidential devotees like Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas. Otherwise, we can never come to know. Why like Lord is asking Bhishma to be on the other side of the battle because he wants to enjoy the Virya Rasa. Yeah, why he does what he does. Lord supported the Draupadi's decision of releasing Ashwatthama because Ashwatthama was supposed to send a Brahmastra to finish the last child, Parikshit. No, I mean later on, by which, because Lord knows what is about Vedaham Samatitani Vartamananti Arjuna, he says that. Avishchani cha bhutani mamtu Vedana Karshana. So Lord has some intention in whatever he does. So when you see the activities of the Lord superficially, running from the battlefield, most of the atheistic fools, they will come to sweeping conclusions by seeing Krishna's activities superficially. Krishna is dancing with the gopis, Krishna is stealing butter, Krishna is running away from the battlefield. They will see these activities and conclude that he is also like an ordinary man. And because of this, they commit terrible blasphemy, due to which they go to glide down to hell. So therefore in Gita, Lord Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam. One should see the divinity in my actions. So in today's class we saw, I showed you 5 shlokas today about how when Jarasandha chased after the Lord, in each of those steps, he manifests his divinity in his actions. Whether it is jumping off from the mountain, whether it is pretending to run as if he is fearful, and also even after running a long distance, climbing up a very tall hill, like that. So and also the celestial chariot is coming and awarding all the weapons to Krishna Balaram, which shows that in this world everything moves according to his will. Correct now? He desires and it will be done. He has the Ichcha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Anything he wants, he can instantly do it. And also, another lesson we learn from this is the Jarasandha who is chasing behind the Lord, such sinners like Jarasandha will never be able to capture the Lord, because their intention is to kill the Lord. They are running behind the Lord to kill the Lord. People like Jarasandha, Shishupal, and Dandavakra, and these kind of people, they will also sometimes have an assembly where they discuss about Krishna's activities. Like Kamsa, Jarasandha, Shishupal. They will say that how the Krishna killed different demons. They also have Krishna Katha, but it's an envious Katha it is. Because at the end of the Katha, they will always talk about how to come up with another idea to finish Krishna. So one place Prabhupada says about the scholars and misinterpreters of Bhagavad Gita, they are also very similar to these fellows, Jarasandha or Shishupal or Kamsa. Why? These people are trying to physically kill Krishna, and those fellows are trying to misinterpret the writings of Krishna, and by misleading the innocent creatures of this world. Both are demons. These are physical demons, and those are intellectual demons. Two types of demons, Prabhupada says. So, therefore, the world has been saved from the intellectual perverted geniuses and intellectual demons by the Vaishnava commentaries of Acharyas like Srila Prabhupada, who have saved the world. Because if you go to internet also, there is so much misunderstanding about Krishna and the gopis and dance and everything, because even the best of the scholars, the most learned scholars, cannot understand the Lord's activities. So just as Jarasandha failed to capture Krishna, the mundane wranglers and misinterpreters will fail to capture the Lord. They will not be able to touch the Lord. Lord reserves the right of not being touched by them, not being approached by them. And Lord, at the same time, they will not be spared. The Lord destroyed Jarasandha very soon, subsequently bringing Bhima, and Bhima tore Jarasandha into pieces. And Lord guided him how to do that successfully, and he finished it. So the demons on one hand cannot capture the Lord, on the other hand they will be finished by the Lord. At the same time, the Lord has his own goal and purposes to be accomplished at every moment. What he does, why he does what he does is a great mystery which can be revealed and known from the heart of great Vaishnavas. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajano yena gata sappanta. So today we discussed this 52nd chapter of Jarasandha chasing after Krishna. So tomorrow we will discuss about Kalayavana chasing after Krishna. And then day after we'll discuss about Yashoda chasing after Krishna. Yeah. And all these three are, three different, very unique situations. Why Krishna did it. So here in Jarasandha's chasing after Krishna, you see Jarasandha later on, when Shishupal saw that Krishna has taken Rukmini away. So when Rukmini was taken away by Krishna in the chariot, at that time Shishupal became so angry and so depressed completely. At that time Jarasandha came in the front and said, "Hey Shishupal, why are you so depressed? You are so depressed as if your wife has been taken away. She is not your wife. You are not married to her. You aspired to marry her, but you lost her. But don't worry, in this world, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Every time, everybody is not victorious every time. Even I lost my, he said, some people may say that I lost battle with Krishna, but 18th time, even I gave a good chase to Krishna. I drove him, like that he tells. So somebody told Jarasandha, "But sir, we heard that 70 times you were defeated. You didn't say about that." He said, "Oh, that's a small detail, don't ask about that." The demons will not tell the total facts. They will hide the facts and they only tell things which are in favor of them. So this fellow was a hopeless, depressed fellow, Jarasandha. He was planning to go for austerities. Somebody encouraged him. Now he is encouraging Shishupal. So this is the way the demons are. Birds of the same feather flock together. The demons encourage one another to smoke and drink and degrade and go to hell together. That's their mentality. So we can see uh, the Lord's dealing on one hand with demons, on the other hand with devotees. Here with respect to Jarasandha, the Lord is running away from him. With respect to Rukmini, the Lord is running towards her. So the devotee's devotion is attracting the Lord. And even in the precarious position, Rukmini is in a difficult position. Lord is ready to go and protect her, save her, take her away. On the other hand, with Jarasandha, he doesn't even want to look at his face. He says, get lost. Lord has rejected. So, therefore, the great lesson for us is we should study the spiritual literature in such a way that that should enhance our devotion to Him, so that Lord's glance and grace will come towards us rather than go away from us. Because people like Jarasandha, their behavior was such that Lord was having no interest in them. And Lord wanted these fellows to get purified through death in the battle, and he wanted these demons to get rid of their envy. So Lord, Naham Prakasha Sarvasya Yogamaya Samamrita. Lord says, I don't expose my beauty and sweetness and kindness to these demons because they don't deserve it. Lord had rejected them. Yeah. Any one question? Anybody? Hare Krishna.
Like you mentioned the analogy of Krishna not being able to chase by the demons of his time, and the analogy of intellectual demons today.
Yes.
They are trying to influence by their own philosophies and which are not in tune with the scripture. So, especially I saw this problem like social sciences. Students who study social science are being influenced by professors who are who are of different ideologies, but the overall environment is such that students who are not that strong in bhakti, who are not very strong, who don't have very strong bhakti background at their homes, or even if personally they are not strong, those who are in middles kind of thing, they get attracted towards these
books.
professors, books,
Correct.
and it is then it becomes very difficult to go and talk about the scriptures with them because they have their
And all the other rubbish.
And especially to preach in that environment, they don't allow people. The universities also are such that they don't allow people to enter.
Correct.
ISKCON to enter or any other.
Okay, I'll tell you answer this question. Yeah. See, okay, let us assume that some university tells you ISKCON can enter and give lecture for all our 5,000 students. Even if you give this type of lectures for 5,000 students, do you think they all will take the bead bag and start becoming devotees? You will see that the majority of the people are not ready for direct spirituality. You will see that. Actually, majority of the people want sense gratification. The mass of people. It's not that colleges don't permit, therefore we can't make devotees. Nowadays, I have 24 invitations in Pune, many colleges, symbiosis. Even SRM, Andhra Pradesh University they have prescribed an elective course we are giving. It's a 45 hours they have given us, and it's a credited course. They're giving 4 credits for that. They're giving. Similarly, now NITs also have started. NIT Warangal is giving a Bhagavad Gita course now. That is also in your course. There are 210 students have joined in that course also. So many colleges students are joining the value education courses. But even if the college says you give for the whole college, do we have teachers who can go and give for the whole college? Do we have so many teachers? Because what happens, Karmi teachers are all paid. And they have Prabhupada said the Karmi's education system is very good system. Prabhupada said they have a Pakka system they have. Correct, no? They have 30 universities, 30 laboratories, classroom setups, crores of rupees. Some of the IIT boys who passed out and came to America, when they made billions of dollars, then like one boy in IIT Kharagpur has given a huge, some 50 crore, 100 crore they have given to make labs, correct, no? In IIT Kharagpur, one boy has given to make an entire building. He has given money, 50 crore, 100 crore, like that they have given. It's in IIT Kharagpur. So they are making a whole building, one boy, because he has become a big entrepreneur after coming to America. So that means these people reinforce material flourishment. You will see that. They are doing like that. So on the other hand, because for them this is the main bread and butter. Correct, no? Now as devotees, many of the devotees have their jobs, profession, and side by side they are doing little preaching. Correct, no? So even if the doors are opened for you, you have to ask the question, are you ready to give lecture to so many thousands of people, number one? Do you have manpower to give lectures? And even if you give lecture also, how many of them will be interested to take Krishna consciousness in the way that you are taking up? 16 devotees, serious devotees wanting to go back to Godhead. Therefore, what we should do is, we should know that if somebody wants to become a devotee, it is Lord's prerogative that he will make a arrangement for that fellow to become devotee. Nobody can stop a person who wants to become devotee. If, for example, if IIT professor wants to become devotee, he goes to ISKCON temple directly, purchase a copy of Bhagavad Gita, and he reads. Nowadays, you go to the YouTube channel, there are so many devotees who have spoken lakhs of videos now. Lakhs. I am not saying thousands, lakhs of videos are available now. And many, many big speakers have spoken. And if you want Sanskrit predominant lectures, or you want fun predominant lectures, you want scientific lectures, you want logical lectures, all kinds of lectures are available. And people hear different speakers. At last they arrive at some certain speakers whom they are fond of. And they regularly hear also. So now the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is completely open. And modern day civilization is a very open culture. Nobody can hide. Like for example, people who criticize making sadhus, people like Amagala Pondal have made open videos. They are saying sadhu chalagar, correct, no? They have made open videos. And how to join ISKCON full time, they have made open videos now. Everything's floating. Nobody can, and there are crores of people watching them, lakhs of people. Nobody can say, don't tell people to join ISKCON now. Now the whole world has become fully open. And it's not that you have to go and sit with somebody and teach Gita. Ready-made Gita courses are available now. You just go to YouTube and write Bhagavad Gita. So many speakers you have, hundreds of speakers. So, speakers are available, lectures are available, temples are available, deities are waiting for you to go and worship. Beads, japa beads are available. Nowadays, books are available free also. Go to any ISKCON temple, they give you free japa beads. They give you free Prabhupada books also. Many, like ISV, they gave 200 Bhagavatam sets free to Pune for our non-earning students and people like that, So Bhagavatam sets are available free now for gift, as a gift. What is not available, you tell me, in this world now? That means, that is all. That's the only thing we should talk about. All we need is a desire to become devotee. That's the only thing that's required in the world. And how will that come? First of all, we have to become ourselves serious devotees and set a very good example for others. When we set an example, One is a good example. And then provide the facilities for the people. And they provide the ambience. Yeah. Or what is the ambience? Temple hall is ambience. They are worshipping the deities very nicely. And the Lord is offered bhoga properly and the Lord is pleased. One has to please the Lord. So make the temple ambience very, very spiritual. Nice Sankirtan, nice Katha, nice book distribution, nice activities in the temple. So when people come and see, they will say it's a very vibrant temple. And the care for the visitors should be very good. And the knowledge transmission by the devotees living in the temple should be very good. So knowledge is of the head, care is for the heart. So when these two things are very well done, and the ambience of the temple should be very first class. The spiritual ambience. So the spiritual ambience, knowledge transmission, the care for the visitors. If these things are done, these are the, and then apart from that, the facilities for practicing devotion service. For example, if some boy says, like yesterday afternoon I saw, some boys, girls were here taking darshan. They were just sitting in the temple hall, just watching the deities. Some people are sitting in yogic mudra with eyes closed. Shanti, 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 because they're coming for peace. And they're very frustrated outside. Correct, no? Yeah. But if somebody is available here, they go and give them a mala, sit with them, talk to them a few minutes, and then give them some prasad. Then they will feel a very homely atmosphere. It's not that we are neglected when you go, somebody is there to take care. So, in this way, care, knowledge, spiritual ambience, facilities, and good example of the devotees. So, if these things are provided to people, these are all stimulants for desire. Correct, no? And then when people read the books, they get doubts, they can come back and ask questions. And they get convincing answers. Then that produces a stronger desire to practice more seriously. Correct, no? Actually, gone are the days, maybe a decade ago or 2 decades ago, there was a lot of lockup of the knowledge. You cannot go into college, you cannot go to hostel, you cannot give lecture. There are so many restrictions, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. You are a secular thing and this and that. Now gone, all those things are washed away now thoroughly. Anybody can go anywhere now. Sadhus are given, so many sadhus are given lakhs of rupees for giving seminars and all nowadays. Yeah. And Bhagavad Gita is now so popular nowadays. Just now, yesterday I got a letter from Symbiosis MBA. They have 500 students joining in the first year. They're saying, please give management principles from Bhagavad Gita. They're giving us 40 hours. They are saying, please kindly give us a course. Now they are coming to temple and begging now, you please, because they understood that the people who are spiritually sound, they are having an extra edge over others. Than the other people who may be skilled and smart, but who don't have, that spiritual base. People without spiritual base lack integrity, lack good character, lack good habits. Although they may be very skilled and competent, they are untrustworthy. So many colleges and companies have started understanding the need for spiritual base now. So market is open. We all have to have a desire to become strong devotees ourselves and do the best we can, because the Kali Yuga, the first, the 10,000 years are golden age. That is why things are opening up now, very much. So that this is we can say the golden age of Kali Yuga is this 10,000 years. Only 500 are over now. Another 9,500 years we have. In fact, the demands are so much, we won't be able to cater to the demands. There's so much demands now. Srila Prabhupada ki, thank you very much.